The Girgarre area was born after the purchase of large properties by the government. Irrigation was introduced, but with the arrival of soldier settlement after the First World War, the area boomed. A school was established, an RSL branch was formed, followed by the Girgarre Football Club for a social and sporting outlet. The community has seen the highs and lows of the dairy industry. Factories come and go, shops come and go, families come and go, but somehow we have kept our club still here, strong and functioning for the same reasons it was originally formed. Here to be a focal point for our community to gather at, for not only the sporting opportunities but also for the social interactions. Apart from a period in which we played in a joint partnership with Stanhope in the senior competition of the GVL, we've been a standalone club in the local district league. At the heart of the club is our people, and all who have passed through have immediately been welcomed into the club community, with many long-standing and generational friendships formed. These are some of our stories.
Yeah, so basically my time here, footy club, first and foremost following the football. As you just said, father played a lot of footy here. Grew into obviously thirds, a couple of years here, and then obviously been playing senior footy for the best part of 20 odd years. Yeah, I still enjoying training, still enjoy being around the boys. It doesn't matter how many games you win, but you form a bond and you can rekindle those relationships. You could not see guys for a couple of years and you can pick up just where you left off. We're obviously still going strong, and I think we've definitely got a great platform to do well over the next few years. When we finally do break that finals drought for the seniors, probably look back and would have played a small part in making it happen. And the Wounded Roo, it come about at the famous Roo balls here. I wasn't at the first one, probably second or third might have happened, and we continue that tradition on. Not brought out as much in recent times, but all I can say is it's reserved for special occasions, and it's come out at more than just Roo balls.
So when I first moved up here, I started playing at Tongawa, and obviously that was the GVFL, and I played the first couple of games in the under-18s, which is the last 2 games of the year. And then when I started working at the Kai Research Institute, Dale Edwards and Trevor Lowe and a few other mates worked there, and they've been trying to get me to come out here for a couple of years. And back then, I think 90, 91, they were playing pretty good footy and won a premiership and all that.
You should have snuck out a couple of years earlier.
Yeah, well, I sort of, I thought, I didn't really, I was only probably 19, 20, and probably at the time thinking I wouldn't have been good enough to get a game out there. From the first couple of weeks that I was here, I thought it was a real family club. There was a lot of people like the Misers and the Walshes and ones like that had little kids running around. And like everyone sort of just felt like a big family here. I've made my best friends, or all of my best friends have come from this footy club. When you say about highlights, like unfortunately I missed out on the grand final, but playing with my son in the seniors and in the seconds too has been a highlight. They're all sort of things that, everything together is all a big highlight. But getting to play with me mates, I think that's probably why I played for so long. At the time I was vice president, and I think Darren had sort of said he was going to be doing the job for a while, so I had a bit of time to see what how the runnings were, and then to ease into it. But he got offered a job over in Tassie, and then all of a sudden I was sort of thrown into it earlier than what I expected, and he'd already gone and got Jaden Canavan as a coach, and started going and recruiting players and all that sort of stuff. So a lot of the work he'd done before he left, which was good. The ones that were on, like yourself and Cheryl Wickham and Sam and Peter Holman, and even the likes of Joel and Rory, and there was a lot of people that, well, I don't say a lot, but the ones that did a lot of work, and that made it a hell of a lot easier.
Back in the day, it wasn't like it is now where you play juniors at the football club. We played in at the Kai Association. My brother actually got signed to play for Rushworth, so I think I was 16 at the time. So I ended up going to Rushworth with him. He played there for 3 years and come back here. So I came back here with Jeff, and that was when I first started playing here. I loved Rushy, loved it over at Rushy, so I actually went back. And that's pretty much where I played most of my netball. Like, I've become a life member over there with games played. I think I'm the only non-local to ever get a life membership over there, but I sort of thought about not playing anymore. My family brought me back here again. My nieces were playing netball here in the juniors and desperately wanted me to come back and coach. So the first year the 15s made the elimination. The second year they made the prelim, and then the next year made the grand final but lost that, and then the year after we won the grand final. Even without winning a premiership, I've just loved coaching juniors, and not even just in a netball sense, just seeing the kids grow and improve off the court as well as on the court. Being a Turpin, the amount of Turpins that have come through this club in particular, like Dad's up on the wall here. My brother's also a life member here, so yeah, it's just like at the moment, my 3 kids all play here. One of my sister's boys play here and 2 of my brother's boys play here. Unfortunately, we didn't play in finals when I played here, except for B grade when I ended up filling in. But just seeing the netballers now, like the quality of the netballers we've got here at the moment is fantastic.
I started work over at the butcher shop in Jig at the time there. That's how I started to first come over. I was still playing with Marupna then. I ended up playing the rest of that year with Marupna before I come back over here. Over on the wing there was the sheds, just a small room both sides, part in the middle for serving. I think that's where the ladies served and all that. I think Nev Kay used to come over and from Marupna and bring the beer and all that. I was president right from the start. I think about 62 to 74, I think. As soon as I finished the footy, that's what was meant to be. The biggest thing from the club is getting those rooms done. I think he's still at Stanhope now.
Gary Shooter?
Yeah, and he was probably one of the best presidents that's ever been here, really. He put a lot of work in and he got most of this going. I reckon the 91 one was probably the best of the lot, really, because on paper it didn't look a really good side. The coach, he was fantastic too.
My family moved here when I was about 3. Hayley Cairns was president at the time, and he approached Joanne Tomasini and myself and asked if we were interested. So we just went on to all the meetings to see what it needed, what had to be done. We had to have the different colours to the tennis, and we had a lot of fun to start with because it was serious, but it wasn't, yeah. I was team manager for like 5 teams on the day, and I think that would just, I enjoyed that.
Yep.
I enjoyed doing that sort of thing, helping the kids, getting the kids along, and there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things that was funny on the courts, but it's been great. I've loved watching it grow. The girls that have come and gone, there's been some amazing players come through the club. I mean, when we first came, we had the coin slot for the lights. It was rough times. There was actually a scout hall here, and we used that to get changed in and everything. And I'd just like to congratulate everyone that got in the teams of the century, all the netballers that also got in the team of the ages. Congratulations, and hope everyone enjoys 2022 at the club.